Hello, I'm glad you're here. I'm NatsMan, and I'm reading the Bible from the beginning to the end, from Genesis to Revelations. Please join me in this journey and make God's Word a part of your everyday life. Please go ahead now and hit that subscribe button so you'll be notified every time I post a new video and you won't miss any parts of this Bible read. This is video number 161, and today we're reading from the book of 2 Chronicles, starting in chapter 16. 2 Chronicles 16. In the 36th year of Asa's reign, Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah, that he might not allow anyone to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. Then Asa brought out silver and gold out of the treasures of the Lord's house and of the king's house, and sent to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, who lived at Damascus, saying, Let there be a treaty between me and you, that there was between my father and your father. Behold, I have sent you silver and gold. Go break your treaty with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the captains of his armies against the cities of Israel, and they struck Ijon, Dan, Abel-Maim, and all the storage cities of Naphtali. When Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah and let his work cease. Then Asa the king took all Judah, and they carried away the stones and timber of Ramah with which Baasha had built, and he built Geba and Mizpah with them. At that time Hanani the seer came to Asa king of Judah and said to him, Because you have relied on the king of Syria, and have not relied on the Lord your God, therefore the army of the king of Syria has escaped out of your hand. Weren't the Ethiopians and the Lubim a huge army with chariots and exceedingly many horsemen? Yet because you relied on the Lord, he delivered them into your hand. For the Lord's eyes runs back and forth throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong on the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. You have done foolishly in this, for from now on you will have wars. Then Asa was angry with the seer, and put him in the prison, for he was in a rage with him because of this thing. Asa oppressed some of the people at the same time. Behold, the acts of Asa, first and last, behold, they were written in the book of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa was diseased in his feet. His disease was exceedingly great, yet in his disease he didn't seek the Lord, but just the physicians. Asa slept with his fathers and died in the 41st year of his reign. They buried him in his own tomb, which he had dug out for himself in David's city, and laid him in the bed which was filled with sweet odors and various kinds of spices prepared by the perfumer's art, and they made a very great fire for him. That's 2 Chronicles 16, now 17. Jehoshaphat his son reigned in his place and strengthened himself against Israel. He placed forces in all the fortified cities of Judah, and set garrisons in the land of Judah and in the cities of Ephraim, which Asa his father had taken. The Lord was with Jehoshaphat, because he walked in the first ways of his father David, and didn't seek the Baals, which sought the God of his father, and walked in his commandments, and not in the ways of Israel. Therefore the Lord established the kingdom in his hand. All Judah brought tribute to Jehoshaphat, and he had riches and honor in abundance. His heart was lifted up in the ways of the Lord. Furthermore, he took away the high places and the Asherah poles out of Judah. Also in the 3rd year of his reign, he sent his princes, even Ben-Hail, Obadiah, Zechariah, Nathaniel, and Micaiah, to teach in the cities of Judah, and with them Levites, even Shemaiah, Nethaniah, Zebadiah, Asahel, Shemiramoth, Jehonathan, Adonijah, Tobiah, and Tobadonijah, the Levites, and with them Elishama and Jehoram, the priests. They taught in Judah, having the book of the Lord's law with them. They went about throughout all the cities of Judah and taught amongst the people. The fear of the Lord fell on all the kingdoms of the land that were around Judah, so that they made no war against Jehoshaphat. Some of the Philistines brought Jehoshaphat presents and silver for tribute, and Arabians also brought him flocks, 7,700 rams, and even 7,700 male goats. Jehoshaphat grew great exceedingly, and he built fortresses and store cities in Judah. He had many works in the cities of Judah, and men of war, mighty men of valor, in Jerusalem. This was the numbering of them according to their fathers' houses. From Judah the captains of thousands, Adnah the captain, and with him 300,000 mighty men of valor. Next to him was Jehohanan the captain, and with him 280,000. And next to him Amasiah the son of Zichri, who willingly offered himself to the Lord, and with him 200,000 mighty men of valor. From Benjamin, Eliada, a mighty man of valor, and with him 200,000 armed with bow and shield. And next to him Jehozabad, and with him 180,000 ready and prepared for war. These were those who waited on the king, in addition to those whom the king put in the fortified cities throughout all Judah. That is 2 Chronicles 17, now 18. Now Jehoshaphat had riches and honor in abundance, and he allied himself with Ahab. After some years he went down to Ahab to Samaria. Ahab killed sheep and cattle for him in abundance, and for the people who were with him, and moved him to go up with him to Ramoth Gilead. Ahab, king of Israel, said to Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, "Will you go with me to Ramoth Gilead?" He answered him, "I am as you are, and my people as your people. We will be with you in the war." Jehoshaphat said to the king of Israel, "Please inquire first for the Lord's word." Then the king of Israel gathered the prophets together, 400 men, and said to them, "Shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear?" They said, "Go up, for God will deliver it into the hand of the king." But Jehoshaphat said, "Isn't there here a prophet of the Lord besides, that we may inquire of him?" The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, "There is yet one man by whom we may inquire of the Lord, but I hate him, for he never prophesies good concerning me, but always evil. He is Micaiah, the son of Imlah." Jehoshaphat said, "Don't let the king say no." Then the king of Israel called an officer and said, "Get Micaiah, the son of Imlah, quickly." Now the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, each sat on his throne, arrayed in their robes, and they were sitting in an open place at the entrance of the gate of Samaria, and all the prophets were prophesying before them. Zedekiah, the son of Chenaanah, made himself horns of iron and said, "The Lord says, with these you shall push the Syrians until they are consumed." All the prophets prophesied so, saying, "Go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord will deliver it into the hand of the king." The messenger who went to call Micaiah spoke to him, saying, "Behold, the words of the prophets declare good to the king with one mouth." Let your word, therefore, please be like one of ours, and speak good. Micaiah said, As the Lord lives, I will say what God says. When he had come to the king said to him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? He said, Go up and prosper. They shall be delivered into your hand. The king said to him, How many times shall I adjure you that you speak to me nothing but the truth in the Lord's name? He said, I saw all Israel scattered on the mountains, as sheep that have no shepherd. The Lord said, These have no master. Let them each return to his house in peace. The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, Didn't I tell you that he would not prophesy good concerning me, but evil? Micaiah said, Therefore, hear the Lord's word. I saw the Lord sitting on his throne, and all the army of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. The Lord said, Who will entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? One spoke, saying in this way, and others saying in that way. A spirit came out, stood before the Lord, and said, I will entice him. The Lord said to him, How? He said, I will go and will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. He said, You will entice him and will prevail also. Go and do so. Now, therefore, behold, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of these your prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil concerning you. Then Zedekiah the son of Chenaanah came near and struck Micaiah on the cheek and said, Which way did the Lord's Spirit go from me to speak to you? Micaiah said, You shall see on that day when you go into the inner room to hide yourself. The king of Israel said, Take Micaiah and carry him back to Amon the governor of the city, and to Joash the king's son, and say, The king says, Put this fellow in the prison, and feed him with bread of affliction and with water of affliction, until I return in peace. Micaiah said, If you return at all in peace, the Lord has not spoken by me. He said, Listen, you people, all of you. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, went up to Ramoth Gilead. The king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, I would disguise myself and go into the battle, but you put on your robes. So the king of Israel disguised himself and went into the battle. Now the king of Syria had commanded the captains of his chariots, saying, Don't fight with small nor great, except only with the king of Israel. When the captains of the chariots saw Jehoshaphat, they said, It is the king of Israel. Therefore they turned around to fight against him. But Jehoshaphat cried out, and the Lord helped him, and God moved them to depart from him. When the captains of the chariots saw that it was not the king of Israel, they turned back from pursuing him. A certain man drew his bow at random and struck the king of Israel between the joints of the armor. Therefore he said to the driver of the chariot, Turn around and carry me out of the battle, for I am severely wounded. The battle increased that day. However, the king of Israel propped himself up in his chariot against the Syrians until the evening, and at about sunset he died. That is the end of 2 Chronicles 18 and the end of this video. That was the book of 2 Chronicles, chapters 16, 17, and 18 on video number 161. I'd like to thank you for joining me in this project, this endeavor to read the entire Bible. I hope you enjoy listening to it as much as I enjoy reading it. Please feel free to comment if you'd like, and also please give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it. If this is your first visit to NatsMan Reads the Bible, I leave a link in the description below to the intro video that explains what I'm working to accomplish here. I hope you come back for the next video. Until then, thank you. I hope you have a blessed day. I'm NatsMan, and I'm out.